Well, it's a beautiful Sunday morning, sun's out, absolutely lovely, and what can be better than driving through the roads of France behind a Dauphine, and across the road a Citroën U-Series fire engine. Well, it's 9:30. I thought it was going to be early, but as you can see, the place is absolutely packed. So how much space there will be to film, I don't know, but there's a classic car section for parking, so I'm going to look around that in a minute, but I'll wander around the Autojumble first, and we'll start up here. How do you fancy one of this pair as a restoration project? Or possibly both? Dodge 6x6s, I believe. Probably Second World War, given we're in Normandy. And rusty, but you know what, probably savable. Oh, amazing start. Same stall, Second World War Harley, side valve. I'm getting in a young man's way. Yeah, Second World War Harley, complete with a gun holster, etc. Or perhaps if you fancy something a little bit older, 1920s Gnome Roan. Love the fishtail exhaust. Exposed clutch through the primary side, so it must run dry. Overhead valve, so advanced. Oh, wonderful motorcycle. With a cog driven, the cog on the front wheel, which looks like an ABS unit, I don't know if you're able to see it, is in fact the cog drive for the speedometer. Jaeger instruments. And a beautifully restored 50s Mobimatic made by Mobilet. This one's not for sale though, it's only for show. Lovely job. A race prepared Levada 500 chassis, presumably the Alpina twin range, I would have thought. €1,300, everything there apart from the engine. Which actually doesn't sound that bad if you could get an engine, to be honest. Or how about a small diesel tractor, very small diesel tractor, vineyard tractor I suppose, made by Holder from Germany, Stuttgart. Twin cylinder diesel, by the looks of it. Very nice. Another old bike, unrestored, Belgian FN, side valve single. Again, looking at it, 20s. And then what looks like it, is that a new Imperial behind? I'm not sure. It looks like a new map. I'm not sure what a new map is. I'll have to look that one up. This place is absolutely huge. It stretches for hundreds of meters. One of the vendors has got a very rare Simca Aron Commercial. It's had windows added, been vitrayed. But beautiful van. And as I say, uncommon, to say the least. Split tailgate, so the top half of this up, bottom drops down a bit like the A40. Austin A40. Lovely van. Another 20s bike, side valve single. Not sure of the make, there's something at the bottom, what's that say? Can't make it out. Tero, it's a Tero, of course it is. Wonderful tank, knee badges, hand change, rubber knee badges, and the alloy tank badge is marked up as TT. Friction dampers on the girders and on the steering. High quality motorcycle. And then behind it, under the shade, an SWM motocrosser, which again is a rare bike. Nice old Automoto, and somebody just test driving one of their mopeds is selling. I haven't seen any money being flashed around yet though. An early Ratier, built in Paris, heavily stole from German Second World War technology, including whole engines and things. Side valve, you can clearly see the history. Beautifully restored again. Right, let's head over to where the classic cars are parked and we'll just see what's around. I think I've already spotted the Renault I was following on the way in. So first up we've got Peugeot convertible 304 Cabriolet and also some mopeds. €2,800 for the convertible. Let's have a quick look at it, shall we? Sills are dented. Doesn't look catastrophically rusted, mind you. Interior is partially missing. Boot lid's rotten. Badly rotten. Doesn't look too bad. There's a lot missing though. Oh, what's coming towards us? Looks like a Ural combination, followed by a Peugeot 104. They're starting to pour in the classic car section, that's for sure. Nice DS Cabriolet, beautiful. Actually, it's nice. It's a beautiful DS Cabriolet. DS21, stunning. Next to Floride with its hard top. A lovely Mercedes convertible. 2CV Beachcomber, or France 3 as they call them here. And then an Alpha Sud 1500. Elizabeth used to have one of these, loved it. 50s Renault van, next to the ubiquitous 750, and then a Dauphine, which I was following, I'm sure. I'll have to check the numbers, but I think it's the same one. And then a little bit further down, next to the GTV, we have a Peugeot 205 van, which we never got in the UK. One of two. They had a smaller one as well, but this is more like your Astramax type van, but on a 205. Lovely Carmen gear, which could well be the one we saw yesterday, so not that far away. Early Beetle. A very grey Visa Club with the 650 engine. Lovely Mahari. Then a selection of Peugeots and things. Big Merc. iRoof Estafette, which given the colour is probably ex-gendarmerie, I would suspect. Mark II Transit camper van. A friend of mine still has a Mark II Transit camper van, which is remarkably sound. And then we shall cross over and look at a load of Renault 8s, Simcas, a nice Ripple 2CV, complete with dummy in the rear. Why, I'm not sure, but there you go. Very tidy Westphalia. I've got Westphalia pop-up roof for sale if anyone wants one. Nice early ID. Then another couple of DS's. And let's swing over, shall we? Nothing much going on up at that end. Nice splitty 2CV. Early 70s, is it a 4? Let's have a look. Yep, an early 70s 4. Another 2CV, Peugeot 204. German Taunus, which is rather lovely. Let's have a look at the Taunus. White wall tyres. Yes, this has been beautifully restored again. I suppose the equivalent of our Cortina at the time. Mark 1 Cortina sort of era. And similar, if you look at the top end, and maybe it's just me, if you look at the top end, sort of vague styling similarities as well. But that could just be me. Lovely Ponton Merc. Another 304 cab, seems to be a lot of them around at the minute. 404, another 304 on estate. Renault 8. Gordini. Another D. An early AJS. Pre-war, I'm guessing. Girder forks, all the rest of it. I'm not entirely sure, but there you go. And then next to that is another motorcycle I'm not sure about. A Ravat with a Jap engine. Now again, the styling and everything suggests 30s. I don't know what the rabat is. I shall check. And then we've got a BSA again, similar era. A sloper. Very purposeful looking engine, isn't it? Let's get right in and have a look at this. Hairspring valves, exposed valves, but overhead valves. AML car, very, very impressive motor. And then a British registered blue car, which I don't know either. I have no idea what it is. I'm not sure, is it a Riley? What do the hubcaps say? Yeah, Riley. It is Riley. Right, another really rare car. A Simca Sport, which is probably late 50s, early 60s. And the bodywork may be reminiscent of another manufacturer because it was made by Fassel-Vega. And I think you can see some of the styling cues from Fassel in it. But again, a super rare car. Let's look at the back end. Yeah, the back end as well looks very Fassel. Very Fassel. And then a couple of Talbots, Simca 1100. Yep, a lot of commercials. So we've got a Peugeot coach-built van. Next to a Renault 4x4, ex-military. And then another Dodge 6x6. And then the fire engine I saw on the way in, which is Citroen U series, I'm sure, but which model U series I don't really know. Let's see if we can find a badge. From Deauville, so it's not come far, just up on the coast. No, there doesn't seem to be any giveaway as to exactly which model it is. Oh well, never mind. There's a Farmall tractor stuck at the back of this lorry, which looks vaguely Ford. Let's look at the front end. An International Lodestar. Yeah, an International Lodestar. The cab looks sort of D-Series Ford. And then another Saviem. Now these used to be used as breakdown trucks in France. Oh, it's actually marked up as a Renault Golette, but this is Saviem. Anyway, they must badge engineer them. And they used to see these as breakdown trucks all over France. And then, oh, now then, another Saviem on the back of this lorry, 4x4, but it's marked up as Croisière des Sables. And there's a map of North Africa on the side. So I'm assuming it's been to North Africa. See the front axle driving front wheels. It's got sand rails and somebody just put a board out. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's been to North Africa. And another real rarity, a French built Jeep, a Delahaye. They're equivalent of the Second World War Jeep. You can see the similarities, can't you? I'm not sure what engine was used in this. There's a piece of paper on the front, let's see. 9,000 examples made for the French Army, 4x4 reconnaissance, aluminium body, oh no, sorry, aluminium motor, 2 litres. So I'm not sure which engine went in this. But again, rare. I don't remember seeing many of those about. 2CV has been up to Nordkap. Peugeot 504 pickup. And then passing another Renault, a 504 saloon. Now it just struck me that you don't see so many 504s around at these classic car shows, given the huge numbers they sold in. But loads were sold on into Africa. When it became of very low value here in France, they were bought up in huge numbers and shipped off to Africa, where they served as taxis for a long time. No doubt you still find them there. So that probably explains why you don't see so many. So what have we got hiding in the shadows? Traction, another DS convertible in the corner. Peugeot, more Peugeots. Now, this is an oddity. I suspect this is a rarity. Let me have a look, see if it's badged on the back. Because there's no windows in the rear, which the AKS 400 didn't have right towards the end of its production. However, it's low roof, which would suggest it's a 350. But it's got the big rippled panels, which means it's not a 350. So Citroën did offer a low roof AKS 400 as an option. And I'm wondering if this is one of them. Let's see what's on the back. Oh, bum. No badges. Oh well, my theory will have to stand until proven otherwise. Oh, an AMI 8 coming in. There's a cracking number of cars. Give us an Autojumble. There's a huge number of classics turned out. Another fairly rare car, 203 A. So it's a pickup with a canvas top. Again, very nice condition, obviously been extensively restored and ready to live for many more years. Mini Marcos hiding beneath the towering 403 next to it. A 4-light Diane. I used to have a 4-light Diane at one time, which I enjoyed very much. Didn't have it very long, but it's quirky. In fact, this one's just badged Diane, so this is probably a very early one. There's nothing to identify its age. And another car you don't see very often. In fact, I can't remember seeing one before at all. A De Tomaso Pantera. De Tomaso was an Argentinian who was vehicle mad. He built these cars, he also got into motorbikes, all sorts of stuff. And how about this? A Rosengart Super Traction from 1939. Majestic vehicle. Convertible. Wonderful deco lines. Look at the alloy treatment on the side of the bonnet. Beautiful. Wing spats, leather interior. Twin petrol tanks. Art Deco rear lights and alloy mounts. Very, very stylish, very, very expensive. Look at the door handles. And the little running lights at the side with trafficators. An AMC Pacer. Again, must be a rare car in Europe. I know AMC sold cars in France because they were associated with Renault at one time, but I can't imagine they sold that many, to be honest. A Rancho. I'm back at the split screen. I was just walking around the back of the commercials and I suddenly realised that it's British. So somebody's driven over from the UK for the show. Right, an H-van, but with a tipper body on the back. Now partially lifted by its owner, just so we can see that it works. You might lift it again, who knows. You can just about make out the ram in the centre of the bed. Right, here's another car you probably won't have seen either, Fauvel. I don't remember seeing one. Basically a fiberglass kit car using Peugeot running gear at front wheel drive with suspension and other stuff just robbed from various cars at the time, Renaults, all sorts, and put together to form this. Which, I don't know, has a certain 70s charm about it, doesn't it? I've no idea how many were made, not many I suspect. Here's a proper 350 Small ripples, as you can see, low roof but long. Another rarity, a Borg Ward, just rolled in superb condition. Apologies for the background music, but for some reason at some of these French events they love pumping out huge amounts of music. So how about a really nice AMI 8 metallic paint, which has also been redone, genuine 100,000 kilometers. It's in beautiful condition. €5,500, which works out basically at the minute at 5 grand, because the pound is so poor. But you'd probably have one of the nicest AMI 8s in the country if you had that one. If you don't fancy that, how about a Visa GT? Twin carb hot Visa. Well, one of the hotter Visas anyway. In reasonable condition, bits of rust starting to show on the sills and things, but not bad. It's only done 76,000 kilometers, which is under 50,000 miles. 2,800, which is about 2.5 grand. I suppose if you saw this at 2.5 grand with such low mileage, you'd be tempted. To go up a notch, how about a Rolls Royce? It's only done 25,000 miles. It's obviously in superb condition. And it's 28,000 euros, so about 25 grand. Three SMs coming in together, one's just gone by, and then we've got a gold colour, I suppose you'd call it, followed by a lovely light green. It's not often you hear that lovely V6 3 in a row. And then a traction. So found a BMW combination. Now, judging by the tank and side panels and the headlamp nacelle, it's a Series 5. But somebody's upgraded it with the twin discs. It's the early rear-mounted ATE type discs. So that'd be 70s R90R. And then the sidecar looks to me like a Cossack one. I may be wrong, but it's very reminiscent of the Cossack. And of course that would make sense because it's a copy of a BMW, so mounting it probably wouldn't be that hard. UK man cave stuff, cans, all that sort of stuff are very popular. Prices for signs that I have seen marked are pretty similar to what we pay, maybe slightly less. We've got a 70s Levada triple, minus its side panels. Can't see the model. And attached to that, a Euro spec Bonneville, left-hand gear change, splayed carbs, and a red CX500. I had one of these for a couple of years. Happy memories of taking it to France and Belgium and Holland. Very good bike. Mine blew the seal on the water pump, which I had to fix in my backyard, which was a bit of a pain because it's gearbox off. So I still love the bike though. Well, that's it for Mezidon. Given it's only advertised as an Autojumble, the number of superb classic cars that were here is quite incredible. There's probably as many as there was at the Rouen event. Certainly in quality, probably in quantity as well, but certainly quality. So that's the first two events out of the way. I now have a working week of deciding where to stay before the next pair.